I'm Courtney Bjorlin. I'm one of the editors on asugnews.com. The team and I are in Anaheim, California, and we're coming to you live from the show floor of the ASUG SAP Business Objects User Conference. Also here this week in Anaheim is a very special event that's co-located with this particular conference this week, the SAP Business One Summit. This was an event started about 4 years ago by one of our wonderful, wonderful ASUG volunteers who's with me in the studio today to talk a little bit more about the event's history and the expectations for this year. So joining me today is Carl Lewis. Thank you so much for making the time.
Absolutely.
And can you tell us a little bit about what you do for ASUG and then a little bit about Vision 33?
Well, for ASUG, I'm really the program chair for the Business One SIG. And for Vision 33, I direct our national support team. So we have about, I'm a reseller for Vision 33 for SAP Business One. And we have approximately 500 customers nationwide, and I run the support department for those 500 customers.
So the story of how the first Business One Summit came about is really a great grassroots story, very characteristic of ASUG. Could you share that with us, please?
Yeah, I did, for my users in the Pacific Northwest, where I came from, I had always kind of collaborated with the chapter, the local ASUG chapter in the Pacific Northwest, and we created a special track for Business One. And we did that about 12 times, but I always felt like there was got to be a way that we could create a big summit for all the Business One customers across the country and all of the partners in the channel. And so when I found out one of the chapter meetings was going to be at Nike, I asked my friends at Nike, could we get an extra day? That turned into 2 days. And so we had kind of a collaborative experience of a chapter meeting and a Business One summit for the first time 4 years ago at the Nike headquarters around an ASUG chapter meeting.
And since then, the event has grown. It's in its 4th year, as we mentioned at the top of the interview. It's really doubled in attendance every year, right?
Yeah, pretty much. We're kind of reached a plateau. We have new places to go now. But we went from Portland to, the next thing we did was kind of team up with the Georgia chapter. And so we went to Atlanta, the region, and we went from 250 to 350. And the next year we went to Dallas, Texas last year, and all the Texas chapters came together and we collaborated with them, and we went to about 499. And this year we're in Anaheim, California, co-located with SBLUC, and we have about 525 or so that'll probably be here by the time all is said and done.
Very good.
Yeah.
So what are some of the hot topics this year for the attendees?
Well, like every place in SAP's world, HANA is definitely a hot topic. Most people don't know that Business One is actually the first ERP system to run completely on HANA. So it's completely transactional and analytical, right? And we also have an analytics-only version for Business One also. So that's probably the #1 topic that people are looking at. And you know, things like mobility and analytics in general probably be closely behind. And always the roadmap. Where are we going from here, right? So
you have quite a few sessions with really key product representatives from SAP addressing that very topic at the conference. How do you get some of these people? How has this gained this reputation to get these people?
Well, a lot of personal time invested over the last 10 years. Being an SAP reseller, the credibility that ASUG brings helps a great deal. When you ask them to come to an ASUG conference, they want to be there. There's no other place where Business One has this collection of people. So if you have any desire to tell anybody anything, this is where you want to be, because you'll have an audience. So it's really not difficult, but I credit that to ASUG's credibility and SAP's support to making it happen.
So Business One is, of course, for smaller companies. And what's interesting about the attendees at your conferences, they're not necessarily like the attendees of this conference, all sort of IT people.
Right.
It's mostly business users or...
Yeah, a vast majority of them will probably be the owners of these companies that are here. And as the owners of small businesses, they are the IT department and the accounting department all rolled into one. And so, they're very hands-on. Or they'll be highly trusted employees, and a few sprinkling of the IT types, in the small business world for sure. But they are a different group, that's for sure.
And they're coming to terms with the same challenges that we're hearing here about mobility, bringing in analytics with HANA. And
today's small businesses are really part of the whole supply chain, and so when the big customer says, we're going to use these things, and we want web access to these things, and we want web analytics, and your data's got to be there too, they have to come along. And typically, they're anxious to be in the lead and not be following. So, and what's wonderful about SAP is that they really chose Business One to be the first of their 4 ERP systems to lead on HANA.
Right.
Right. Analytics was probably an easier place to go for HANA.
Right.
But to really integrate an ERP, that says a lot about their products that they chose Business One.
So what are you looking forward to this week? What's the most exciting thing on your agenda?
Well, other than sleep at the end of 3 days, yeah. For me, the excitement is, my vision was always to deliver this summit to the Business One channel. And so to do it 4 years in a row, to see people come back every year and renew relationships, the networking that happens between the hundreds of customers that are here, all the people that I know, to see them, it is a bit of a party. And I'm not a big party animal, but I do enjoy this party. And so I just like to get started. I'm the master of ceremonies, so I get on the stage a few times and have a little fun there, and have the crowd have fun. That all matters to me. And but mostly it's to deliver the value in the intense way we do for 3 straight days, and to know that you did something that's helped and benefited a lot of other people in the community.
And we're so happy too with ASUG that you're bringing in this whole new set of customers and really giving them a platform to share.
Yeah.
It's fantastic.
And we do it this year. I actually had a customer call and say, I want to do a presentation, right? So that's a great thing to happen. And the customers come now and say, I want to speak and I want an appointment with that solution provider, right? Because they want to do collaborative things with them. And this customer in particular is an engineering firm. They've taken Business Objects products and integrated them very tightly into this solution provider's add-on for Business One, and they want to show them what they've done, right? So the community is doing exactly what the ASUG community is supposed to do.
So cool.
And that's a really great story. So I hope we get to tell more about that one. So,
yeah, over the next few days, we'll have several Business One customers in the studio talking about what they're doing, and hopefully some of that work together with SAP will come out in those interviews.
Yeah, I think Mark Wayall is on that list, and that's his company, IES, so hopefully you'll get to talk to him.
Fantastic, fantastic. Well, thank you, Carl. We're
Thank
looking
you.
forward to the week and your big party that you're hosting.
That's right, it's a big party.
Yeah. Thank you for joining us, and continue to tune in. We have a couple more interviews today, and of course our big DS Layer party at 5 o'clock. Stay tuned. Thanks for watching.